Walmart.
So
that's the evening landscape and stuff.
And
then this is Hanover going toward Galena. I just love that shot. And then this is Rock Cut with the scenery and animals. And this is the cornfield across from the house. I just love the sky area. So, and then this is a sunset.
It's
so
good.
There's 5 of those. Now I just have to do in here is the pictures.
Right, thumbnails. Yep.
I could do those.
Cool.
So that's through Pixel, right?
Pixelator. Yep. Yep. Yep, or do.
25, so I'll probably have 25 on a page.
25. I don't remember, 20 or 25. If you have to, you can go to the second page if you need to.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, hello, everyone. Sorry I had to come in on such a beautiful day, but won't keep you too long. We're going to go over the checklist tonight. If you didn't check in, make sure and do so before you leave. Final portfolio checklist, what we're going to go over. Next week will be the final portfolio presentation. As far as what you'll need, as the examples have up here, your name with class name, spring 2018, resume, like Jacqueline here, 8x10s. Walmart has the cheapest prices so far. If you can wait a day to pick them up, it's only $1 for 8x10s. It's pretty cheap. Walgreens is like $4 a piece, I think, right now. Right? So if you haven't yet done your 8x10s, do it at Walmart. It's much cheaper, and you can wait a day. $1. If you found any cheaper, let us know.
Well, they're about $1.50.
$1.50. Okay.
Yeah,
I waited an hour.
Was it $2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some cheap. So $2 you want same day, $1.50 day after. Yeah. That's not bad, right? Then thumbnails using the Pixelmator. I've had students ask, can you do thumbnails in grayscale or black and white printer? If you've not done those yet, you can definitely do that if you want to. That's fine. Because again, it's just representative of what photos you're taking. They don't have to be color. If you've not yet done that, don't go out and buy $50 worth of ink for your printer to print thumbnails. Don't do that. While we're on printers, by the way, every campus computer you pay for every year, every semester, as part of your fee, $35, $50, $60, I don't know what it is. But you use that, so don't feel bad coming in here printing stuff and using the printers and the color printers. Like in this lab, we have a color printer. In this WTC building, the best room to get printing for color is actually that one there. It's got the best color printer. And even if it's not open for class, you can ask the lab person to let you in to print. So, say the professor told you. This one prints, but it's not as good quality. In the future, we need that. So 8x10, thumbnail, resume. Most of you are doing the online photo show, right, through Adobe. We'll go over that as well on your checklist. So final portfolio, let me click on it to go through it, and then we'll go through the checklist together. I'll walk around and see how you're doing on your checklist. But the portfolio is going to be worth $150, $75 for portfolio itself that I just showed you, and then $75 for the slideshow. 150 points. This is a preview of past ones that were done in here. Just grabbed an example there. And then going back to week 15. Checklist. Tonight, again, we're going to go over your checklist to see how you're doing. And before you leave, I want you to comment in here, will you have, doesn't mean you do have, will you have all the items on your checklist completed by next week? Answer yes or no. Hopefully everybody will be yes, I'm hoping. But I'll put a no in there just in case. So you'll do that. We'll go over that in a second. And then podcast is what we're going over tonight, as always, is being streamed. And then I already went over the final portfolio. So let's go back to the one that has a checklist on it. And I did recently update the checklist to look like this. So 3-ring binder, cover page, and it should be spring 2018 instead of 17, but you get that. I did update the resume link to livecareer.com. And if you need examples, again, look at the portfolio up here. I'm looking for a one-page resume only. Put in there your real education you've taken thus far here on campus and other places. Put in there your real job history. But on the objective for your resume, put somewhere in there something about photography. And if you have questions, let me know, and I'll let you know if it's good or not, okay? More than likely, it'll be fine, especially if you have an existing resume you want to use. Just let me see it, and I'll go yay or nay type of thing. Thumbnails, or the 8x10, 3 to 5, minimum 3, maximum 5. I've already had students ask me, can you do more than 5? You can definitely do more than 5, but that's the range I'd like to see. I'm just trying to save you money, but if you want to print 50 pictures, that's fine. If you want to do that, that's great. Thumbnails of all your photos. Again, on this one, you're marking and circling the ones you printed out. So say you printed out 3 of them, you'll circle the 3 you printed out. And I would just use a red marker or whatever color marker you want to use, or you can, if you're doing it in Pixelmator, I think you can even use their little stars or icons. If you want to do that, that's fine. However you want to do it, as long as they're marked. These can be printed out in black and white, though. If you've not yet printed them out, you can print them out in black and white. They don't have to be color. On the presentation, I believe everybody's doing, for the most part, the Adobe Photo Show. Raise your hand if you're doing Adobe. They're doing an Adobe product. Okay. Raise your hand if you're doing another online product, an online photo show product besides the Adobe one. Raise your hand if you're doing the DVD. Okay. So one of you doing DVD. Okay, cool. That's fine. So on the photo show, folks, make sure you have background music selected. 30 to 50 photos is the average. So if you have 25 photos, you're going to be fine. You're not going to be graded down, but stay within that range. So even if you've chosen 2, or some of you have chosen 2 photography professions, same goes for that combined 30 to 50 photos, whether you chose 1 or more professions. If you're using Adobe Spark, there is an option I'll show you in Adobe Spark to download your presentation. I would use that as a backup, and I would put it on a USB thumb drive and bring it with you next week to class. That way, if your online version doesn't work, I can use your thumb drive version. Does that make sense? So when you click on this download link, it'll actually download it to your local computer, and then you can put it on a thumb drive to bring. Most of yours are going to be probably 30 to 50 megs in size, maybe even larger. So it's too large to email and too large to upload into Eagle. So while we're on that, let me just tell you I want you to send me your online. So regardless of what platform you're using to do your online photo show, I need a URL. So I'm using the Spark one here as the example. So when you publish the Spark, it gives you a URL that you can share. So I'll go ahead and copy this one like you'll do. It'll say copied. I'll go to next week's final portfolio link. And let me switch to student view to where I can see it as you guys will see it. Student view button one. I'm looking right at it probably. Where? A little bit more down. Down.
the first one on the list?
My eyes are just like totally shot today. What?
Oh, yeah.
Down further.
Right there.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. My eyes went too much coding today. All right. Okay, fine. Let's do it this time now. All right, so I'm going to go to my module for next week. Thank you for all the help, by the way. Needed that. Final portfolio and submit assignment. And you do have the ability to put a URL submission. You'll put it in there and submit it. That's all you got to do. Don't try to upload your MP4 because it probably won't work. I'm not saying it won't work, but it might not work. So I would say on the MP4, what I'm talking about on the MP4, remember, is the downloading of your Spark. Download that as an MP4, bring it on a USB thumb drive. Because next week when I come to class, I'm going to have all these previewed in multiple tabs on my Mac. That way when everybody comes in, we'll just go one by one and play all your previewed slideshows. Somebody's already asked on what feedback do I need from you next week. I will ask you what you did your final presentation on, what professions you chose. I will ask what challenges you had with the project, what successes you had with the project, and that's it. Pretty simple, right? And you can sit right where you're at. You don't need to come up front. You'll just need to speak up so everybody can hear you. You will also have a survey to fill out on every single presentation. Really quick survey. It's not going to be real hard. It'll just have in there the student's name, that's given the presentation, and then some other survey questions you'll have to fill out, and that'll be it. Make sense? And then you'll submit those survey questions. Everybody will present. Everybody present their portfolio. As far as timing goes, some students have asked about that. Most slideshows, timing is about 5 to 8 seconds per slide. You don't want to go lower than that. Somebody, I won't mention their name, had a slideshow of 2 seconds per slide, and they showed it to me. That's really too fast. I might see it in a dream later, and maybe, they say you can dream in slow-mo and might be able to see better, but don't do that. So 2 seconds is too fast. So if you have 5 to 8 is usually good. Yeah.
I think when I upped it to 5 seconds,
Yeah.
because I think the default is 2.
It is 2.
It's like when I played it, it would start fine, but stop in the middle. Just FYI.
Well, what we might have to do then, it might be a web browser issue, or we might have to play the native MP4 possibly.
Yeah.
We might have to.
I actually went back down to seconds.
3 seconds?
Through, but I don't know if that's
and you're using
size
Chrome web browser? That was the next thing I was going to mention. Make sure it's Chrome, and it does take up a lot of bandwidth, so that does surprise me. But I'm going to test it next week before class. In fact, if you could submit, even though it's not technically due till next week, if you could submit those URLs sooner than later, I can test all of them, kind of make sure they're playing good. And if they're not playing good, we might have to go that route. We might just have to do the MP4 option possibly. Did you try it on the MP4 too? Did you try to download the MP4 and do it? Okay. I'm guessing it's a cache thing, a memory cache thing. I would guess, but yeah. So you went down to 3. Is 3 look good for yours? 3 okay? So we'll say because of that issue, maybe if you've not played, how many has changed it? How many has not changed your timing? Is it 2? Is that the default? If you have, just maybe bump it up to 3. That way we might not have that issue maybe next week. Well, 3 seems a little too short, but I think 3's okay. It's better than 2, but So anyway, make sure it's not 2 seconds. At least 3 or more. How's that? We'll go with that. Sound good? And so make sure and preview your slideshow all the way through here on campus. Sometime between now and next week. Don't do it tonight, but then make sure you've done that on these machines here. Download the video. That way it's a backup for you. And if you're using other online services, I'm sure all of them have, not assuming, but should have some downloading capabilities, hopefully. If they do that with that system as well. How many is using another system besides Adobe? And if you are, what system are you using for the online? Everybody's Adobe? Okay, cool. All right, the video people, those of you using video, make sure or DVDs, if you're using DVDs, make sure you've tested the DVD at home. You're not going to be able to test them on these machines because they don't have DVD players, but I will have a DVD player with me next week. And so just make sure you've tested it, that it's working. All right, so let's go over the checklist. Keep going over that. Thumbnails went over, DVD presentation, online video, photo show, downloading it if at all possible, download as a backup. And then lastly, testing. So what you're going to do on this list is check off what you have completed, like I'm doing here. All right, kind of check off what you've got completed. Uncheck, keep unchecked what you don't have completed. I'm going to take a walk around here in about a minute to see where everybody's at, and then we're going to be done. And as I'm walking around, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, next week will be our final session. The week after is finals. I will be here during our allotted final time, by the way, for the class, and I'll email you when that time is. You're not required to come, but I'm going to be here playing music. I will have some snacks, some yummy snacks up here. If you want to come in and grab some snacks and listen to music and chill out for a bit, you can do that because we're required to be in the classroom during finals week. So I will be in the classroom. And the assignment is, I've called it the snack assignment. That's what I'm calling it. Okay? It's a snack assignment. It's worth 0 points, but, it's for you guys. And so anyway, I will be here week of finals, but you are not required to come, but you may come by and say hi and grab some snacks before you leave. And I am playing with, I have it ready to play with. I've recruited one student already tonight. Google has a artificial intelligence video box that I've been playing with that recognizes faces and objects. I'm still testing it with computer learning. So we'll be probably playing with that night, maybe play around with that a little bit. And so probably bring in an apple or orange and see if it recognizes it or something. So something like that. Be kind of fun. Anyway, check mark the boxes here, and if you haven't done it, just keep it unchecked, no big deal. And then before you leave, make sure and submit in this week's 15 the checklist, if I can find it here. So on the 15 checklist, just submit yes or no that you will have everything finished by next week. Questions before I go around? Okay. So I'll give about 30 seconds here to make sure you get all checked and unchecked what you've got done or don't have done. I'll come around. If you have any questions that I come around, you can definitely ask me. I'll look forward to everybody's presentation. It's always a fun time to see everybody's work and what you've done. Well, I know it's a lot of hard work. Yep. Title page would be like, final with your name, fine. Yeah, final Web225 or something. Your name, that's fine. And I think you asked this question earlier, and I'll reiterate your question, which is, does every slide text? It does not. You haven't put something on every slide like that. Title slide definitely, but besides that, no. Okay, I'm gonna walk around here and see how you're doing. All right, cool. Yeah, go. Oh, that's 1 second. 2 seconds. I would say slow. Yeah, slow it down. Try. I would say try the 5. If it doesn't work, go back to 3. It should be fine. Well, it's always from yeah, bump it up to 5 now. 5 is usually the minimum I go with. So. Cool. Yeah, let's go. I like it. Again, make sure people on that. Day of 2 bucks. After that, cool. All right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. I'm in the Yeah, but
I mean, in my
you have all your photos collected.
I want to come more.
All right, cool. Do you have any questions on the list?
No.
All right, cool. I would recommend Walmart. All right.
Thank you.
No, you don't. No, that's just an example. You don't have to say you can build it yourself. Do you have any questions on it? You get on photos from Walmart. Yeah, when you do that, yeah, when you put the plus start one, got an option. Pages, video. All right, any questions about it? Cool. Ready? No,
Okay, so is this,
that's perfect.
I mean, this one's kind of.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're fine. And you have any questions on that?
No, that was my
All right, cool. And you're doing DVD, DVD, the house or whatever.
So use this to create a DVD? Because I'm not sure.
I would say if you've not yet started, I would go the online, will be full smart. Do that. Yeah, that would be online. That would be sound good? Yeah. All right, sir.
Where do you say you upload the video?
In week 6 next week, there's an option, there's a final assignment option, upload a URL, put it in there.
I'm testing it. It's working so far with 5 seconds.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad, 6 minutes. That's good.
I wanted to put one more on there, but
No, for now, it's fine. It's too much. Now, if you want to go one more song.
do a question.
Refresh your browser, refresh that page. Go up to the top and just refresh the whole browser. So that would work.
What was the?
What now?
Is there a website?
No, I was showing the example of those using Adobe Spark. There's actually an option to it creates a link for you. If you don't have yours in Adobe, what are you using here? Upload it to anyway, you put it on. You have a Dropbox account? You have a YouTube account? Yeah. Upload to YouTube and then send it back. All right, sound good? What Wi-Fi are you connected to? Yes, switch it on RC. Log in with your number. Yeah, you're good to go. Thanks, Al. Should be faster. Do you have any questions on the checklist? All right, cool. All right, cool.
Is there a problem if I grab a dimmer? Okay, is this, I just edited mine.
Your
May have
resume.
put that on there.
Perfect. I like it. Yeah, good. Yep. No. Yeah, front page of your binder inside is fine. I'm good. Any other questions? Cool. Once I've checked your checklist off, you are free to go. If you have any questions, come up and ask me. Otherwise, see you next week. Good job. Enjoy the weather. Make sure you